Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm Matt Sims alongside Phil Sims. We had an exciting, well, not really, actually, kind of a disappointing wild card weekend. I didn't really think a lot of the games were all that exciting. Tampa Bay, Washington turned out to be the best matchup of the weekend. Big
Mm-hmm.
Phil, big picture thoughts. Enjoyed watching wild card weekend, or were you a little disappointed by some of the matchups we saw?
Oh, yeah, I'm disappointed in the fact I would have loved to seen every game come down to the wire, for my enjoyment, sitting on the couch and doing what I do. But, I think if we look back in history, wild card weekend overall has been a disappointment as far as you think you're going to get all these competitive games.
Right.
Been a lot of blowouts in past years. And, yeah, it was disappointing in the scores maybe, but it's also very disappointing. We're going to talk about it. And some of the teams and their execution and just playing the game and not playing well. I,
Right.
I think that's I think that's kind of the bigger story. So let's go ahead. First game. Who do you got?
Let's go into it. And the first
Yeah.
game is the Houston Texans against the Los Angeles Chargers. This game, the final score 32-12. It really a fascinating game in the sense that I feel like a lot of people were picking the Chargers to win this football game, undervaluing essentially what the Houston Texans done this year in a weak division in the AFC South this year. But man, a lot of us really miscalculated this one. I picked the Chargers myself in this one. I think you did too, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yep, I picked them.
Sorry for bringing it up.
No, I'm really proud of it. I'll tell you, if I was a betting man, I'd be broke. Okay,
That's right.
I'm telling you, I can't pick these games, and I'm getting to the point I don't even want to, because if you're keeping track, it's going bad. I think I really know. I got all the information, the stuff. I know what they're doing and how it's going to work. And then the game starts and I go, oh my God, I was so wrong.
Yeah.
Right from the start. But go ahead, I'll give you a quick thought on that game.
Of course, yeah.
It wasn't ugly. It wasn't. It was worse than ugly. I need a better description than ugly. It was just, it was almost, I hate to say this phrase, but it's like a car wreck. I had to keep watching. Because damn, can this get any worse? Oh, it can. When's it going to stop? And it's really funny just to say it this way, that the CJ Stroud misses the snap. The ball rolls over there. He picks it up, and I forgot who he hit. Nico Collins are coming right across the field, but he finds him down the field as he kind of under pressure, and that literally turned the game around for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and I'll make it all for the Chargers. I didn't realize it, but I did watching that game. One, they couldn't protect. The speed of the Houston defense was too much for them. Mm-hmm. And the Chargers, running backs and wide receivers, we need more than one of both of those positions going into next year. That was the biggest drawback that I took from the Chargers. Oh, and I know Justin Herbert. Oh, my God. We got to get another quarterback. He's not the guy. I mean, the hysteria over that is crazy. If you watch the game, and I hate to say this because I don't like coach's tape, you'll go, oh, he got crushed. They were all over him. He made a lot of really good throws, but a little unlucky. There's no doubt he was unlucky with some of those interceptions, but he just couldn't, he couldn't get away to make that certain play that put him over the top either in the game. So ugly game, good for Houston. I think they can play Kansas City tough. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, and I think that is the truth of it too. Is that the Chargers, they had a great year, finishing the season 11-6. Of course, with Harbaugh at the helm now, more organized, tougher football team, vastly improved from a year ago to this year as far as just the functionality of their football team. And Justin Herbert improved. He only threw 3 interceptions the entire season, but unfortunately for him, threw 4 in this game. Did he miss a few throws? Of course. I mean, it's not a perfect game. The hatred, I think, towards Justin Herbert and the fact that he came up small in this playoff game, it's a little, I don't know. I kind of have to push against that narrative just a little bit. He's still a young quarterback. He's still got a lot of room for growth and experience. He's still one of the more talented quarterbacks in the league. And he finally has a coach and an organization that I think is really understands what to do going forward. And there is a understanding of how to build a roster and a team around him. So we're in year 1 of this rebuild, and they're already a wild card football team with one of the more talented quarterbacks playing for them. On the other side of it, the Houston Texans, fantastic game plan for them. It's unbelievable how offensively we've been constantly saying just got to do more. But hey, one snap over your head, CJ Stroud throwing it on the run the way he did, like you said, really did jumpstart the whole thing. They weren't doing much before that.
Nothing.
And then all of a sudden the dam broke with that one play. But Nico Collins is awesome. That's for sure. He really is. They had Xavier Hutchinson. He had one catch for 34 yards. Cade Stover got involved into it. John Mechie is coming up big for them at times. Dalton Schultz and, of course, Robert Wood. So they have a solid crew of players, but the main focus is the fact that Nico Collins is a phenomenal football player and one of the top receivers in the NFL. And then Joe Mixon, I think the fact that they were able to run the football consistently, and that's something that you have said throughout the year. Keep running Joe Mixon. He's consistent. He runs hard. He can make big plays in the running game. He's a good pass protector too, and a good pass catcher. But he had 25 carries for 106 yards in this game and a touchdown. And that running game is key. But the star of the show was the defense.
Yeah.
Al Shire, Henry To'oTo'o, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter were absolutely fantastic. And they're the guys that you were talking about with the speed on the defense that were absolutely just all over the place. And then not to mention, too, with Stingley and with Lassiter as your corners on the outside, compared to that Chargers receiving core, a huge advantage for the Texans. And I think, of course, as we're watching the game, we're like, damn, of course, this is a tough matchup for the Chargers because of the roster and how they're built. But really good win for the Houston Texans in round one.
Let me say this. Now the Chargers reality hit.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled. You need help, and they know where they need help. I mean, it really it blossomed right in front of us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Running backs and wide receiver, whatever. But I give Houston, you said it, the defense so fast, all over Justin Herbert the whole game. And then, like I said, he took a lot of big hits, tried to make throws under pressure, which always, even if you make good decisions, you control it. You're going to throw interceptions if you get hit enough. So that's one thing. But I'll give C.J. Stroud a lot of credit and Bobby Slowick. They saw what was going on in the game. He got rid of the football a lot, really fast. C.J. Stroud can get rid of the football about as fast as anybody in the NFL, maybe the best. Yeah. And they're very good with those little short passes over the middle. I thought that was really, really good for him. But you said it right. Defense was the star for the Houston Texans. And, well, we'll just go from there. So just bad by the Chargers. A lot of good there for the Houston Texans to give them confidence going into next week. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and honestly, maybe we'll say that for the next show, depending on how we get through Wild Card Weekend. But let's transition now to the Baltimore Ravens against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Final score of that game, 28-14.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to, I think, go into this discussion here. But Big Phil, your thoughts on just the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they performed in this football game. Yep, that's a good reaction.
Yeah, it's listen, I am really so sick of hearing the first thing, well, they got to get the quarterback fixed. Oh, my God. Just stop it. You and I talked about this a little, and you brought it to my attention even more, that the team does not have the talent to make the deep run in the playoffs.
Right.
That's simple. Who are the stars? Oh, yes, I know they got TJ Watt, but they're just the offensive line is getting better, but it's still really young. The running back situation is solid. It's not special. Mm-hmm. And, you go through the whole team, but we keep talking about like they're a Super Bowl team, or not we, everybody that the guy, quarterback. I mean, hey, everybody out there, just there's not enough quarterbacks to go around the way everybody talks about it. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to be Patrick Mahomes or we need a quarterback. And as soon as the team loses, well, the quarterback. I mean, look, I know they're important, but damn, let's put some blame on coaches, the design of what they're trying to do to win the games. I never hear that. Never.
Yeah.
And listen, I watched the Pittsburgh Steelers offense the whole year. And at times I go, it's so simple, I appreciate it because they knew who they were.
Yeah.
but it's not built to go far in the playoffs, the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my takeaway watching the game. And then their only idea, oh, we're going to get a big play. Let's throw one of those. And I'm sick of hearing this phrase too, the moon ball. Oh my God, Russell's the only guy that throws it up in the air. But those completions seem to be the only way they can get big plays.
Right.
And I don't see designs any other way for it to get done. So that's my whole take on the whole damn game. And I should say, I'll just see
At least the
Pittsburgh.
Steelers part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the Baltimore ones after you talk a little.
Well, it's you make great points. They're all true, and there is a reality to it. I don't think any of us really thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be a Super Bowl contender. I think we were optimistic that they maybe could turn into a Super Bowl contender if their offense continued to evolve, that they kept being more balanced, if Mike Williams and that trade paid off to go along with George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth and to develop a consistent running game. But the truth is that the offense just was too stale, too stagnant, didn't do enough to really put defenses in pressure to decide or make decisions that pay dividends for the offense, right? To give them those opportunities. And I'm with you. What do the Steelers offensively do well, right? Or that's top of the league. They don't run the football as well as everybody thinks, or what you would like to think for a Pittsburgh Steelers team. They don't throw the football as well as you would think. And Arthur Smith, we've seen now for 2 years in a row that the quarterback is not always the problem. A little bit of the issue is that the offense may be just a little outdated, and it might be a little too vanilla for some of these better offense. And credit to Zach Orr. He finally got his thumb on the pulse of how to call the game and how to manage this Baltimore Ravens defense. And that has been tremendous how they have transitioned from the beginning of the year till now. And it didn't seem like the Ravens really were overwhelmed or concerned with anything that the Pittsburgh Steelers were doing offensively, attacking them. And then on the defensive side, defense is their strength, right? It's their strength. They're physical, they're tough, and all that. You give up 300 yards on the ground to any football team, and especially to the Baltimore Ravens, you're not going to win many football games that way. And that's definitely, I think, a common trend we saw all weekend. The teams who won in the trenches on offense and defensive line, the ones who got after the passer more consistently, they usually won those football games. The Ravens were the team that did that. The Steelers really had trouble doing that at all. And explosive run after explosive run. Their game plan for Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield with their read option was atrocious. And in that sense, you deserve to lose the football game in that sense. And credit to Todd Monken for being patient with the running game. The one thing that we'd seen in the past is occasionally they get anxious. They try to be more aggressive and try to throw it. Did a great job, I think, of just continuing to run the football, keep the game plan simple, ball control football. And Lamar only finished with 21 attempts passing, 16 to 21 for 175 and 2 touchdowns. But because they were running it so effectively with Lamar and Derrick Henry, they had complete control of the football game.
Yeah. Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers, well, they played Pittsburgh football.
Yeah.
Okay. So that narrative has got to change a little bit.
Right.
And, and I kind of fell into the trap. So I'm being a hypocrite too. But, early in the year, I thought, wow, okay, I like the way they're doing this with Justin Fields. And I understand that. But as time went on, I just went, damn, we got to do more. But I'll go. So I beat up Pittsburgh enough already. But the other side, Lamar was spectacular. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry looks like he got faster and bigger with a little time off. I mean, man, it was unbelievable. And then a couple of times I watched the runs when I watched the game over. I went, wow, what do they think when they see him running and he's kind of free and I got to go hit him? I mean, does something flash through your head like, I'm going to go really low? Because if you go somewhat high, he's going to bust your head with that straight arm. So that's one thing. The offensive line, the play calling, play design on both sides of the football for the Baltimore Ravens, it's cutting edge. It's cutting edge on both sides of the ball. And that's where you get greatness. And I told this morning, I think, on a show, and I just said, Lamar dropped back one time. He moved to the right real quick, moved to the left real quick, He went forward a little bit, and he goes, I don't like that. So he backpedals, and he throws the ball. Catch, touchdown. Oh, wow, okay. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even when I watched the highlights of the AFC North, whatever that's, they're going through with it.
The Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks. There we go.
Yeah.
Lost the track. Even John Harbaugh's on the sideline. He goes, oh, wow, Lamar, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. So the Baltimore Ravens are the real deal. Their offense, if you stop it, what is stopping Baltimore's offense? What if you keep them 27 and under? Can you contain everything that they do?
Right.
Now they got crazy skill, and the coaching is Todd Monken. Have you heard his damn name for any head job at all? I haven't.
Yes, actually, I think he's set to be interviewed by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And there might be one more as well that he's on the list for. But yeah, he has been.
Wow.
He's kind of, I guess, like on the bottom tier of people that are listed to be interviewed, but he is getting in that conversation. And you're right. He deserves to be.
I know they got talent. I do. I understand. But he makes the talent even better with his designs and play calls.
Right.
And, to me, that's the guy I want for a head coach, whichever side or whoever he is. If a guy is just a motivational guy and can get guys to play to a different level, then that's cool too. But Todd Monken, man, I got to tell you, it's impressive watching him, Matt. So I think we kind of hit everything in that game, and
I think so. Yeah. And I really look forward, obviously, to this weekend's matchup between them. But yeah, we'll move on in the wild card round for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just final note: whatever that recipe has been for you over the past 6 or 7 times in the playoffs, it clearly needs to adapt to a more modern style. It's successful to get you to the playoffs, but we've seen though that simplicity on the offense defense side aren't going to win you many football games when you're not the more talented football team. When you're more talented, you can play that way. When you're not, when the teams that you're playing against are more talented than you, it becomes very difficult. So,
yep.